coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Hey man, shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, boom, damn, fight week, damn, fight week. Let's go, let's get it, man. TBP Nation, man, we out here, man. We pushing that P, that positive energy. 2026 is our year. Let's go, let's get it. Meet and greet, membership videos popping off. I mean, merch, books, everything. We trying to do it all. Interviews, everything. Let's go, let's get it. We need all hands on deck. God willing, in the creek don't rise too. I get my liberation and get up off of this paper in 2026 too. I believe it, I receive it. Let's go, let's get it. Hey. Man, I don't know what put this in my thoughts this morning, but it just popped in my head. I don't know if it was something I was watching, it was subliminal or what. But this is one of these classic examples, man, about everything ain't what you think it is, man. And I can remember being on River North. I was with the first 100, I believe the first 100 people that was on this joint, right? It was, you know, River North got the guns too. You know, it's still up there in the mountains. It's just right down the street from Wallace Ridge and Red Onion. It was supposed to be a warehouse. You know, it had been sitting there for years and years and years. They hadn't used it. Like I told you, the funniest cells I ever been in, where the toilet is at the back of the cell opposed to the front. No other prison I've been in is like that. The floors is made with, like, you can hear yourself walking on the floors and the walls. It's made different. It won't concrete. It was something else. I couldn't tell you, aluminum or whatever it was. It was crazy though. But River North was wild, man. They popping them guns and they putting them dogs on you up there as well. Real crazy situation. But I can remember being in the first block I was in. I was in this first block, and mind you, it's not a lot of people there during this time. Like I say, it's about 100 of us there. Then I think by the time the second 100 got there, so you're like 200 people on the count. But they bringing people in weekly. Every week they bringing like 80 more people in, 80 more people in, 80 more people in, right? So I can remember, man, like I say, you got these young dudes on there who ain't really did no lot of time. They new, they green, they young, especially, you know what I'm saying, the brothers. They thinking that they tough. They got it in their mind that all of these little white boys is soft because they locked up, they soft, they to be taken advantage of, this, that, and the third. That's the mindset of them. You got a little few, not a lot at the time, little gang members, but you got little cliques, little mobs, they mob up, you know what I'm saying? They trying to make their way in the penitentiary. They trying to show that they ain't scared. They trying to show that they tough. They gonna stand up. They gonna go for theirs, this, that, and the third. That's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's all fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying? You had little squabbles go on here and there because the compound is new. You know what I'm saying? If the people in the booth is not really paying attention, I think most of the officers there were new as well. They learning about the penitentiary. So you got little mobs in there, little cliques in there, and they you know what I'm saying? They trying to carry the dudes who they think weak. They trying to take their commissary. They trying to punk them. They run up in the cell, get, you know, make fake beefs. And man, we won't go in the cell. They run up in the little cell, beat them up, get little squabbles, but they can't really fight for real. These dudes going in there, busting, you know, say bust a dude lip or something, and, you know, wrestle and tussle around and feel like they done whoop you. You know, I'm looking at all of this stuff because by now, you know, I done been in the penitentiary, you know, for decades. And I'm seeing all of this and I understand it's new, it's they green, you know, because River North was bringing a lot of dudes there that came from receiving as well. So they just coming in the system. They don't know the system. They thinking that this is how prison is going to be. This is their first, you know, contact with prison. They seeing all these young dudes is just as green as a pool table, 4 times square, just like them. They thinking this is what it is. You got a couple of dudes like me sprinkled in here because we're coming down from, you know, the mountains. We coming down from Red Onion and Wallace Ridge. We trying to transition back to Flatland. These jokers just coming in prison. Only reason they put them here is because the prison is new and they trying to fill up these bed spaces. You know what I'm saying? is just business. They don't know this. So they thinking that this is how the penitentiary is. This is what they're going to be able to do. Run around, act tough, talk tough, get on the phone, tell lies, try to get money in, get commissary, hoping somebody could get some drugs. Drugs was really hard to get up there because it's a brand new institution. Ain't nobody figured it out yet. So they in there fiending, they mad, they irritated, they can't smoke their reefers. They can't get high. They can't pop their pills. They ain't really got nothing going on until they can figure it out. When you on a new institution that just opened, it's going to be hard to get everything. And they was running, man, they was strict, man. I'm talking about, I had issues coming there, even though I had been in the penitentiary for decades. They trying to take all my personal pictures that I done had for decades and decades, which is really covered under the grandfather law. If you had some, even though they banned it now, if you had it prior to them banning it and it was legal, they can't take it from you legally. These people so green, they don't even understand the laws that's in position to govern them. They saying, well, that's what that says, but you got, and they go through your property before you ever get it. They get your property, they go through your property, they take out what they want to take out, and then bring you what they say you can have out of your property. And bring you what you say you can have and give you a list of what they took out and say, what do you want to do with it? You want to get rid of it or send it home? Man, what are you talking about? I want to grieve it. They act like they don't even understand what the grieving process is. Okay, well, you can grieve it, but do you want to send it? No, you don't supposed to do nothing with it until the grieving process is over. So, suffice it to say, I was super irritated on this joint. I'm like, man, these people don't know what they doing, man. They messed my bit up. It was just crazy mass confusion. So I can remember, like I say, they running in on a couple of little white boys on commissary day, or just leaning on to, man, let me get something to eat or whatever. Taking in the white boys are scared, most of them, you know what I'm saying? Some of them stand up for themselves, some of them got knocked down, you know what I'm saying, trying to stand up for themselves. So I can remember they brought this little bitty white dude in there, man, and I'm talking about little, man. This white boy was probably about 5'5" at the most. You know what I'm saying? On a good day, maybe 5'6". Little, man, bow-legged, but you could see he was a little stocky. He had a little build to him, right? He wore a little buzz cut, you know what I'm saying? And he had these big old ears. But me being observant, me being a veteran of the penitentiary, the one thing that I noticed about him, even though he was little in stature, but like I say, he had a nice little cut on him, the thing that I noticed about him, with them big old ears he had, they were cauliflower ears. If you know, you know. They were cauliflower ears. And like I say, the little dude had a little build on him, and he was like a little bow-legged little guy. But he quiet. He don't talk. He don't, you know what I'm saying? He just real quiet unless he talking to the police or something like that. He get on the phone, and he was in the cell with another white boy. Now, the white boy that he was in the cell with was a scrawny little white boy, scared. Ain't no telling, you know, what he locked up for. You usually can look at somebody and say, maybe he did this. Maybe he robbed somebody. Maybe he was on drugs. Or, well, you look at him, he was so skinny and nervous, pervious looking, I don't know what he did. You know what I'm saying? Normally, it's bad to categorize or to, you know what I'm saying, the stereotype, but normally little skinny, scrawny looking dudes like that, if they weren't on those drugs, they probably did some little freaky stuff, you know what I'm saying, which is crazy, and it's going to be bad for you if somebody really find that out. But anyway, I guess they put the white boy in there with him, the little stocky white boy, they put him in there with him, right? And I think his name was like Kirk. I think his name was Kirk or something like that. So they put him in there with the other little skinny white dude. So being that he don't talk that much, the young dudes in there, they can't really get a gauge on him, right? But they watching him because they in there, they you know what I'm saying, they scavengers, you know what I'm saying? They scavengers. They like little hyenas, they waiting for something they could get because they probably done burnt so many bridges at home, ain't nobody really sending them no money. You know what I'm saying? Probably was out there game banging, you know, disrespecting their parents and the people that's looking out for them. There they stuck and they ain't really got people to reach out to that's going to really do nothing for them. So they getting it how they can get it. Trade monsters, eating their food up, but I can't say River North was brand new, so the food on there was good for the first year, man. That food was, boy, that was good. They was feeding you real good food. They was bringing food from Hardee's, and Hardee's was donating. They had good food, right? And they had old timers from other institutions that they got to come on the compound just to work in the kitchen. So being that the prison was new, them dudes back there whipping up good stuff, real chili mac and, you know what I'm saying, hamburgers with real meat, hot dogs, hot links. Man, that joint was popping. That was like, I hadn't been in the kitchens in so long. I was going over the kitchen in River North, roared up. That joint was good. That joint was good. And I knew a couple of the dudes who worked in the kitchen, so it was a good thing, right? But them dudes, they's crushing trays because they can't, you know, they frustrated. They can't get high. They ain't got nobody sending them no money to eating, so they trying to, you know, victimize other dudes that they think is weak. So once they saw the little white boy was quiet or whatnot, and like I say, he little, but they seen when them commissary came, he went to commissary every time. Every time he hitting the commissary. So about, I guess after the third or fourth time, they see he gonna keep going to commissary, and he just sitting in the cell. He eat. He don't really come out to the park rec. Only time he coming out to the park rec is if he going to use the phone. He sit on the bench and wait for a phone to come over and go use the phone, mind his business, go back in the cell, right? So I guess they get the bright idea that, okay, we gonna wait till he go to commissary again, because he was getting big bad commissary. Yeah, we wait to go to commissary again. We gonna go in there, we gonna take that commissary. You know what I'm saying? This is must been their bird brain plan, right? So when the commissary come the next time, you know, it's 2 or 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? I guess they done plotted. They figure like the little one, the little stocky one, dark skin, he's stocky, you know what I'm saying? Got a little size on him, probably about 5'8", 5'9", little size on him, act like he, you know, real touch off, real tough guy. I guess they designated him to run up in the cell, and we gonna watch the booth, we gonna hold you down. But their plan was asinine from the beginning, because their plan is wait for the doors to get ready to close, because his cellar usually come out. Is the little skinny, scrawny one. He come out and go sit over the bench. He be waiting for the phone. Sometimes he don't even get the phone. He's so scared, he'll just wait, and everybody be just going in front of him, right? So dude to stay in if he ain't coming out to use the phone. So I guess they waiting for the doors to get ready to close, because once they close the doors, they not going to open the doors again for another 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Sometime an hour. You get a 30-minute break, an hour break. So they not going to open the doors. They figured that they going to wait for the doors to get ready to close, get somebody to be distracting the boo person, and they slide up in the cell with the little white boy while the doors close, go in there, I guess, beat him up, take all his commissary, bag all this stuff up, take all this stuff, wait for the cell break to come open, and bring the stuff out. They take it to their cell, they divide it up, whatever the case may be, right? This will let you know how green it is. This is so dumb, so asinine. Even if you go in there and do that, if that's your plan, if you had to beat him up and he fight back and you end up hurting him or doing something like that, you're stuck in the cell, dummy. The people gonna give you a case. You dig? So it's just an asinine plan. But they young, they green, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And you also assuming that you can beat the white boy up like that. You can incapacitate him. You can overpower him. You can advantage take him. This is your thought process. And you got 2 dudes on the outside. They can't help you. The door is closed. So, you know, crazy idea, man. So I can see the whole little thing unfold. I seen them when the doors closing and everything. They standing over there close to the cell like they trying to talk and wait like, and then wait till the door closes and look at and try to slide in the cell before it closed. So I'm sure when he slid in there, the white boy was probably like shocked, like, hey man, what, you know? That's what I'm assuming. He was like, hey buddy, what are you doing? Wrong cell, buddy. But he slides in there, right? So you can see the 2 little dudes, they trying to look in the cell, see what's going on. And I guess he was in there talking to the white boy at first. I'm assuming that's a white boy saying, man, what you doing in here? Woo. So boom, man, he swing on the white boy, man, and try to handle the white boy. Man, this white boy, man, got the ducking and dipping and picking him up and slamming them down, and they tussling and wassling. And the white boy somehow get him in that little MMA thing where they got your arm bent back like that there, and that boy done broke his arm up in this cell, man. And he get this screaming and hollering, ah! Man, he screaming so loud. Everybody in the pod look over there. The two little dudes, they standing by the joint. They tell me, blood, what's up, blood? He like, oh, he broke my arm. He broke my arm. Hey, my mom, get the dog, man, my mom. White boy got him down, laid on the ground with the arm bent back like this. Broke his arm up in this joint, and you in the wrong cell. They can't do nothing. What can you do? You call the police, they come over there and say, hey, man, you going down the big way. You know what I'm saying? And we up here, and this is ripping off, got them white people up there too, and there ain't nobody working there but white people. You know what I'm saying? You done ran up in the cell on a white boy. Man, them people don't care nothing about you, man. He hollering and screaming so loud that the person in the booth come to the joint and looking around trying to see where the screaming coming from. So dudes tell him, another dude said, man, y'all move away from the cell. They gonna see, they gonna know what's going on. So they start moving around. So they done left him in the cell. Hollering, he's still hollering, help! You done ran into a lion's den. You done seen this little joker and you thought that you can handle him physically, you could overpower him. You underestimated the dude, man. The dude's ears look like big old cauliflowers, man. Look like, you know what I'm saying? You should have knew the dude knew something. He's stalking. He don't weigh no more than probably like $155. But obviously he had skills. He did. And he done broke this dude's arm. Then I guess he hollered so much, dude let him go. So he get up, his arm broke, but he comes to the door and he banging on the door, get it over, man, my arm broke, blood, my arm broke, get it over, man. Man, people is looking and looking, and I guess the person in the booth, they can look down, they pinpoint where it's going, so they get on the speaker and say, hey, everybody, go to your cell, go stand by your door, right? He want the door to open, I'm sure. They say, go stand by your door. Everybody go inside, stand by their door. Get off the phone, go stand by your door. Now you better listen because they got the guns up there. You know what I'm saying? Then the people come in. Boom, boom, boom. They running up in there. They got the door. What is that? Over there, go over there. They go over to the cell because the skinny white boy, he's standing by the cell, but you can see him physically shaking. He's scared to death. He like, man, he look at his face like, I don't want anything to do. Man, they go to the cell, man, and oh boy, it has no shame in his game. He went from being a tough guy to hollering for the police. He said, help me, man. Help me, my arm broke. They say, what you doing up in there? Is this your cell? He said, no, my arm, man, my arm, please, my arm. They open all the other doors, leave that door closed. Tell the little skinny white boy, go over there and sit on the bench. Then everybody else, go to your cell. Everybody else, they let everybody else in their cell. So then when they finally do open the door and he in there by himself, everybody on their door looking out. Man, this man got a broken arm, everything, his arm hanging down like it don't belong to him no more. Man, they snatched him up out that cell and slam him down on the ground, put their knee all in his back, throw their hands behind his back. Shut up! And cuff him up, put the shackles on him and everything, pick him up, drag him on up out there, grab the little white boy up out there the same way, slam him down on the ground, cuff him up, drag him on up out there, tell the other little skinny white boy, get in the cell, man, it's your cell, get in the cell. He goes in the cell, he's scared to death, he goes and say they lock the door, they leave up out of the joint. They come back in, they walk all the way around looking at each cell like, you know what I'm saying, trying to find anybody else, hurt or beat up or whatever, right? But the whole thing, man, was just so comical to me because I'm like, man, these young dudes gonna mess around, man. They gonna go to another prison with this tomfoolery thinking that this was, man, they gonna get killed. He got lucky because had he been on a full-fledged open institution, that white boy might have had a knife and could have killed him and got away with it because you in the wrong cell. You don't even supposed to be there. You understand? You don't even supposed to be up in this cell. Not only do you go up in there, you get caught up in there. And you get your arm broke up in there. You're late up in there. So it was just so crazy, man. Man, them people you just getting there too, so we ain't even been there that long. It ain't been nothing like that serious. So we ended up being on lock for like 2 or 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what's going on. They trying to figure it out too. Then they let us out, man. And these youngins walking around here talking there. They ended up getting some get right though. The ones that was in the pod that was with it, especially the 2 that was with him. Oh yeah, they won't mess with nobody white boys no more. They won't mess with none of them no more. They won't even mess with the little scared black dudes in there because it woke them up. This ain't, you know what I'm saying, no fairy tale no more, man. This is real life. You ain't got your pistol. You ain't, all your homeboys ain't gonna be able to help you. These got steel and concrete, man. You locked in, bro. You don't know who's who. You don't know who capable of doing what. You underestimated that little dude because you thought he was white and you thought he was small, but you knew he had some money and you thought you could take it. You ain't taking nothing from nobody in the penitentiary like talking about unless they pure P-U-S-S-Y. If they ain't that, you gonna get some pushback one way or another. And old boy learned that the hard way, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna be walking around. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The way his arm was looking, I don't know. I ain't never had no joker put me in no arm bar and all this. I don't know, but they said they heard the crack. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And we definitely all heard him holler and screaming. So he went from gangster to potential robber to hollering and screaming help for the police, man. You know, because he made a bad play. But, man, that was crazy, man. That was just some insane stuff. And I'm so late in my bit, I'm like, man, I ain't got time to be around this tomfoolery right here. Get me up off of here. And they tricked me for being on there because I had enough points leaving Wallace Ridge to go straight to Flatland. But being that they had a new institution opening and they need to fill bed space, they said to themselves, well, let's detour these dudes so we can fill up these bed spaces and you know, appease the DOC. You know what I'm saying? And stop me right there, man. And I had to stay there for 1.5 years before I could go to Flatland where I was supposed to be going anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say this is what the institution would do to your life, man. They have total control over your life. When the rules is in your favor, they're going to use the rules against you to put them into what's needed, what they need. They needed to fill these bed spaces. So even though rightfully and technically you don't even supposed to be there, they're going to say, okay, well, we got to wait 1 year and get the paperwork. Man, it don't take no year to get no paperwork, right? I don't even supposed to be here in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So crazy, crazy work, man. So like I said, you will have zero control over your life, where you go, what you do, what you end up into, because other people will pull you into something that you don't want to be into. And it's just a crazy, crazy world, man. But yeah, I can remember, man, the little youngin' ran in there, thought he was going to take that little white boy stuff and found out that you can't take something from everybody, no matter what color they is, and got your whole arm broke. And he was young. He couldn't have been no more than like 22 at the most, if I guess 22, 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere between 20 and 23. He was young as I don't know what. Now this is your first experience in the penitentiary, learning that this ain't like the streets, brother, and you ain't got no gun. And then you got a broken arm. So he gonna remember that white boy for the rest of his life. I can guarantee you that. And I don't think he gonna run up in nobody else there. But anyway, man, just lessons learned, hard lessons, man. Y'all talk to me in the comments. I talk back. Big love, TBP Nation. Let's go. Let's get it. If you ain't got the membership, man, I would encourage you to get it. You're going to get these stories and a lot more raw and uncut. Let's go. Let's get it, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. Salute, man. We out here. Peace.
The banky special. Yeah. Pure deliciousness. Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.